Everyone says carbs make you fat, but what I'm about to show you will completely flip that belief. Because here's the truth that changes everything: carbs are not the real reason you're gaining fat. And if you keep blaming carbs, you'll keep missing the real problem happening inside your body. Most of my patients over 50 come to me frustrated. They say, I barely eat anything. I've cut sugar. I even tried keto, but the weight won't move. But here's what's actually happening inside your body. Your metabolism isn't broken. It's being controlled by insulin, your liver, and your stress hormones. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your body like a hybrid car. It can run on sugar, carbs, or it can run on fat, stored energy. But there's a switch that decides which fuel you burn. That switch is insulin. And if insulin is constantly high, your body is locked in storage mode, not fat-burning mode. What the research shows is powerful. According to studies published in journals like the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, chronically elevated insulin is strongly linked with fat storage, regardless of calorie intake. So the real question is not, are carbs making me fat? The real question is, why is my body stuck storing fat instead of burning it? In this video, I'm going to break this down step by step like a whiteboard session. You'll learn the real root cause behind stubborn weight gain, why cutting carbs sometimes fails, the hidden role of your liver and hormones, and most importantly, simple, science-backed ways to fix this fast. And if you've been doing everything right, but not seeing results, stay with me, because this might be the missing piece. Now let's start with the first major mistake most people make. Before we go deeper, let me quickly map this out for you, just like I would on a whiteboard with a patient sitting in front of me. Because once you see the big picture, everything starts to make sense. Here are the 6 science-backed truths we're going to break down. 1. Insulin, not carbs, controls fat storage. Most people think calories or carbs make them fat, but in reality, insulin is the hormone that decides whether you store fat or burn it. If insulin stays high, your body literally cannot access stored fat. 2. Your liver is the fat-burning gatekeeper. Your liver controls blood sugar, fat metabolism, insulin sensitivity. If your liver is overloaded, fatty liver, toxins, poor diet, your body becomes metabolically stuck. 3. Hidden insulin spikes are sabotaging you. Even if you're eating healthy, frequent snacking, processed low-fat foods, high-carb plus high-fat combinations, these quietly keep insulin elevated all day long. 4. Cortisol, stress hormone, is blocking fat loss. Chronic stress, high cortisol, higher blood sugar, higher insulin. This is why many people gain belly fat even on a good diet. 5. Eating too often keeps you in storage mode. This is one of the biggest modern mistakes. Every time you eat, insulin rises. So if you're eating 5 to 6 times a day, your body never gets the signal to burn fat. 6. The solution is not eat less. It's fix the system. Crash dieting doesn't work long term. You need to lower insulin, support your liver, balance hormones, create metabolic flexibility. Now here's the key idea I want you to remember before we go deeper. Weight gain is not a calorie problem. It's a hormonal control problem. And in the next section, we're going to break down the biggest myth of all. Carbs make you fat, and why that belief is keeping people stuck. Most of my patients tell me, "Doctor, I stopped eating carbs because carbs make you fat." Sounds logical, right? But here's what's actually happening inside your body. Carbs don't directly make you fat. Hormonal signals determine fat storage, especially insulin. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body is a bank account. Calories are money. Fat is your savings. Insulin is the bank manager. Now, here's the problem. If the bank manager, insulin, locks your savings account, you can't withdraw fat no matter how little you eat. So even if you're eating fewer calories, if insulin is high, your body stays in storage mode. What the research shows, a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA, found that people with higher insulin levels tend to store more fat, even when calories are controlled. Now, here's the reality most people miss. Carbs only become a problem when you eat them constantly, you combine them with processed fats, or your body is already insulin resistant. In a healthy metabolism, carbs raise insulin temporarily, body uses glucose, insulin drops, fat-burning resumes. But in insulin resistance, carbs, insulin spikes, stays elevated, fat burning stays off. This is why two people can eat the same carbs. One stays lean, the other gains weight because their hormonal response is different. Carbs make you fat. Chronically high insulin makes you store fat. Here's a practical takeaway you can use today. Instead of blindly cutting carbs, focus on reducing meal frequency, avoiding processed carb plus fat combos like chips, desserts, choosing whole, fiber-rich carbs if metabolically healthy. My recommendation for most people over 50, start with 12-14-hour fasting overnight and build towards 16.8 intermittent fasting. This alone can lower insulin significantly. And if this is making sense so far, you're starting to see the real game. Consider subscribing, because most people never hear this explained correctly. Now, in the next section, we're going to uncover something even more important, the hidden role of your liver and why it controls your ability to burn fat. Almost every patient I've seen struggling with stubborn weight gain says, "I'm doing everything right, but my body just won't burn fat." But here's what's actually happening inside your body. Your liver is overloaded, and it's blocking fat burning. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your liver like a traffic controller at a busy airport. It decides whether fuel, energy gets stored or released and used. Now imagine that airport is congested. Planes can't land. Planes can't take off. That's exactly what happens when your liver is overwhelmed. Here's the physiology behind it. Your liver controls blood sugar regulation, insulin signaling, fat metabolism. But when the liver becomes fatty or insulin resistant, it starts overproducing glucose. It keeps insulin levels elevated, and it blocks fat-burning pathways. What the research shows, studies published in journals like Hepatology have shown that non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, is strongly linked to insulin resistance and weight gain. In fact, many people with stubborn belly fat already have some level of fatty liver, even if they don't know it. I need to exercise more to burn fat. I need to fix my liver so my body can burn fat. Here's where it gets even more important. If your liver is overloaded, even a small amount of carbs can spike blood sugar. Insulin stays elevated longer. Fat storage increases, especially around the belly. This is why weight loss feels impossible for so many people over 50. Now let's talk solutions. Simple, practical, and powerful. Liver support protocol. Start today. 1. Reduce sugar. Plus refined carbs immediately, not forever, but long enough to reset insulin. 2. Add 1 to 2 tablespoons apple cider vinegar before meals. Can improve insulin sensitivity. 3. Increase potassium plus magnesium-rich foods, spinach, avocado, electrolytes. 4. Try 12-16-hour fasting window. Gives your liver time to reset and burn stored fat. 5. Prioritize protein, plus healthy fats to stabilize blood sugar. Here's the key idea I want you to remember. If your liver is not healthy, your metabolism cannot work properly. And in the next section, we're going to uncover a silent mistake that almost everyone makes daily: hidden insulin spikes that keep you stuck in fat storage mode. Almost every patient I've worked with tells me, I don't eat that much, I eat pretty healthy. But here's what's actually happening inside your body. You're not overeating. You're over-triggering insulin all day long. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of insulin like a light switch for fat burning. When insulin is low, fat burning is on. When insulin is high, fat burning is off. Now imagine flipping that switch off 5 to 6 times a day. That's what frequent eating does. Every time you eat, even a healthy snack, a handful of nuts, a protein bar, even fruit insulin rises. And if you eat again before insulin drops, you stay stuck in fat storage mode all day. What the research shows: studies in cell metabolism and obesity reviews suggest that frequent eating patterns can keep insulin elevated longer, reducing the body's ability to switch into fat-burning mode. Eating small meals boosts metabolism. Frequent eating keeps insulin high and blocks fat burning. Now, here's the hidden problem most people never notice. It's not just what you eat, it's how often you eat. And there's another layer. Certain foods spike insulin more than you think. Low-fat, processed foods, sugary drinks, even healthy juices, refined carbs mixed with fats. These create bigger and longer insulin spikes. Daily habit shift. This is powerful. My recommendation for most people over 50: start with 3 structured meals, no snacking. Then gradually move toward 2 meals per day, time-restricted eating. Simple rule: if you're not hungry enough for a full meal, don't eat. You can also try this: drink water, black coffee, or green tea between meals. Avoid grazing throughout the day. Let insulin drop fully before eating again. This single shift can unlock fat burning faster than extreme dieting. And if this is opening your eyes, consider subscribing, because most people are never taught this level of metabolic control. Now, in the next section, we're going to uncover something even more surprising: how stress, not food, might be the reason you're gaining belly fat. Almost every patient I've seen struggling with stubborn belly fat says, I'm eating better, I'm trying to diet, but my stomach just won't shrink. But here's what's actually happening inside your body. Your stress hormones are blocking fat loss. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of cortisol, your stress hormone, like a fire alarm system. When there's danger, alarm goes off, body prepares for survival, blood sugar rises, energy is released, insulin follows. Now here's the problem. In modern life, that alarm never turns off. Work stress, poor sleep, constant worry, even over dieting. Your body thinks you're in danger all the time, and when cortisol stays elevated, blood sugar increases. Insulin increases, fat storage increases, especially in the belly area. What the research shows: studies published in Psychoneuroendocrinology have linked chronic cortisol elevation with increased abdominal fat and insulin resistance. I just need to eat less and exercise more. If I don't control stress, my hormones will keep storing fat. Here's something most people never realize: you can be eating perfectly, but if your cortisol is high, fat loss slows down or stops. This is why people often say, I'm doing everything right, but I still can't lose weight. Cortisol reset protocol. Start simple. 1. Fix your sleep first. Aim for 7 to 8 hours. This alone lowers cortisol significantly. 2. Avoid late-night eating. It disrupts both insulin and cortisol rhythms. 3. Walk daily, especially after meals, reduces stress, plus improves blood sugar control. 4, try 5 to 10 minutes of slow breathing. Inhale 4 sec, exhale 6 sec, powerful for nervous system. 5, don't overdo fasting or extreme dieting. Too much stress, cortisol spikes, fat loss stalls. Here's the key takeaway. Your body will not burn fat if it thinks you're under threat. So fat loss is not just about food. It's about creating a safe, stable hormonal environment. And in the next section, we're going to uncover another silent mistake that keeps people stuck. Why eating too often, even healthy food, blocks fat burning completely. Almost every patient I've worked with says, I eat clean, small meals, multiple times a day to keep my metabolism active. It sounds healthy, it sounds logical, but here's what's actually happening inside your body. You're never giving your body the chance to burn fat. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your body like a hybrid engine. One mode burns glucose from food, the other burns fat, stored energy. But here's the catch. Your body can't run both systems efficiently at the same time. Every time you eat, insulin rises. Your body switches to glucose burning mode. Fat burning gets turned off. Now imagine this pattern. Breakfast, snack lunch, snack dinner, late night bite. That's 5 to 6 insulin spikes every single day. What the research shows, metabolic studies have demonstrated that longer gaps between meals help the body shift into fat oxidation mode, while constant feeding keeps the body dependent on glucose. Eating frequently boosts metabolism. Eating less often allows metabolic switching from sugar burning to fat burning. Here's the key concept: metabolic flexibility. This is your body's ability to switch between fuel sources. But if you're always eating, that switch gets stuck on sugar burning mode only. Simple metabolic switch protocol. Step 1, move from random eating, structured meals. Start with 3 meals, no snacks. Step 2, create a 12-hour fasting window. Example, dinner at 7 p.m., breakfast at 7 a.m. Step 3, progress to 14 to 16-hour fasting, if comfortable. This allows insulin to drop liver to release fat body to enter fat-burning mode. Step 4, break your fast correctly, prioritize protein. Add healthy fats. Avoid high sugar spikes. Here's the key idea I want you to remember. Fat burning happens between meals, not during them. And if you've been eating healthy but too frequently, this alone could be the reason you're stuck. Now, in the next section, we bring everything together, the real solution, not dieting harder, but fixing the system itself. Most people approach weight loss like this. What should I eat? What should I cut? How many calories? But here's what's actually happening inside your body. You're trying to solve a hormonal problem with a food-only strategy, and that's why it keeps failing. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body is a thermostat-controlled house. Calories are like opening or closing windows, but hormones are the thermostat. If the thermostat is set wrong, it doesn't matter what you do with the windows. The temperature won't change. I just need more discipline. I need to fix the internal system controlling fat storage. So instead of dieting harder, you fix the 4 core systems that control fat burning. Eat fewer times per day. Avoid constant snacking. Use intermittent fasting, 12 to 16 hours. This turns on fat burning. Reduce sugar plus processed foods. Add apple cider vinegar before meals. Increase electrolytes, magnesium, potassium. This improves insulin sensitivity and energy flow. Sleep 7 to 8 hours. Walk daily. Avoid extreme dieting. This prevents fat storage signals. Stop eating all day. allow fasting windows. Train your body to burn fat between meals. What the research consistently shows across metabolic health studies. When insulin lowers, liver health improves, and stress is controlled. The body naturally shifts into fat-burning mode without extreme calorie restriction. If you want something practical, start here. 2 to 3 meals per day. No snacking. 12 to 16-hour fasting window protein. Plus healthy fats as your base. Carbs adjusted based on your metabolic health. You don't need perfection. You need consistency with the right system. Let's bring this all together. Because if you remember just one thing from this video, let it be this. Carbs are not the real problem. Your hormones, especially insulin, liver function, and cortisol, control whether you gain or lose fat. Here's what's really going on inside your body. If insulin stays high, your body stores fat. If your liver is overloaded, your metabolism slows down. If cortisol is elevated, your body holds on to belly fat. If you're eating too often, fat burning never turns on. That's why so many people feel stuck. They're trying to fix weight gain by cutting calories, blaming carbs, exercising harder, but ignoring the system, controlling everything. Now, here's the shift I want you to make starting today. Start with just these 3 steps. Stop snacking. Give your body time to lower insulin. Create a 12 to 14-hour fasting window. Let your body access stored fat. Prioritize sleep and reduce stress. Balance cortisol and improve fat burning. If you want to go further, add apple cider vinegar before meals. Electrolytes, magnesium plus potassium, 2 to 3 structured meals with real whole foods. You don't need extreme diets. You don't need to fear carbs forever. You need to restore metabolic control. Here's a simple challenge for you. Try just one change today. Maybe it's cutting snacks or extending your fasting window, and track how your body responds over the next 3-5 days. Because when you fix the system, fat loss becomes a natural side effect, not a constant struggle. And if this gave you clarity, if it helped you finally understand what's been missing, like the video and subscribe to join others who are taking control of their health naturally.